Hello everyone, hello. Back for a review of Siesta, y'all. This is the second to last episode. According to Kelsey, this is the second to last episode of the season finale. So I think they're going to do like they did last season. There was like a part A and a part B of season 3. I feel like it's going to be the same thing for this season. It's going to be a part A and a part B of season 4. So I'm pretty sure the rest of the season is going to happen in a couple of months. But this is the second to last episode of the season finale. So let's get into it. I know y'all are waiting for that review for the show that ended last week. I know y'all are waiting for my thoughts on it. You will get them soon. Okay? Soon, as I mean it tomorrow. Okay? Y'all will get my review and recap for Good Girls tomorrow. Okay? But we are here for Siesta. Okay? So let's get started. This is season 4, episode 11 of Siesta. We can all use a little empathy. Y'all, this episode, I'm over specific people of this show. I'm looking at the intro and I said, okay, Juliet, stay. Kelsey, stay. Brandon, stay. Madison, stay. Chloe, you can go. Amanda, you my girl, you can stay. But then there's one other person on this show, and I said, you need to go. And that's Garrett. Garrett can leave. Garrett has no purpose on being on the show anymore. No more. It is what it is. He is no longer needed on the show, okay? What purpose does Garrett bring on this show? I can answer that question for you. Nothing. He brings absolutely nothing on this show. He really didn't bring anything throughout the whole entire series that he has been on because he is boring. Garrett is a boring individual, okay? I went back and I watched the first season of Siesta, and my God, Brandon it was like looking at paint dry. He was so boring. So boring, so monotoned. Brandon has no purpose on the show anymore. He can leave. He can leave. Take Kenna with him. Garrett doesn't need to be on the show anymore. He really doesn't. No purpose whatsoever. He wasn't even on this episode. He was barely even on this season. You can leave. Leave. Just go. Garrett, your services are no longer needed on this show. Siesta, Viacom, let me be a part of this. Let me be a part of this. Let me, tell you who needs to be on the show, who doesn't. Something, because some people don't need to be on the show, okay? They don't need to be on the show anymore. But let's go. So in the beginning of the episode, we get the scene with Madison and Chloe. I'm like, oh, y'all relationship is somewhat back to normal, because y'all remember last season Madison was fed up with Chloe butting into everybody's business, and Chloe telling Juliet that Alyssa was pregnant with Alex's baby and everything like that, and how everything unfolded. Madison was just over Chloe and her antics. So that whole relationship faded out with Madison moving out, and Chloe practically like, oh my gosh, I want you to forgive me because you're like the only real friend that I have. She was doing all of that in season 3. Okay, and then Madison talking about her journey. So somewhat, I guess they're in the process of rebuilding their friendship. So she tells Madison tells Chloe that she's excited for her birthday because her birthday's coming up, and she wants to throw a empathy themed party. And I said, Madison, what? An empathy themed birthday? Make it make sense, girl. And so I'm like, okay, whatever, Madison. You want to be Miss Kumbaya and bring everybody together. You be that type of person, girl. Whatever. So she also notices that Chloe is drinking alcohol again. Chloe was on this whole spirit of, oh, I'm not drinking alcohol, clear mind, clear spirit, all that stuff. I'm not drinking no alcohol. And then MTV, they showing the receipts of her saying how, why they call alcohol spirits is because it brings your spirit down. And her trying to be positive and everything like that. So Chloe's like, well, one day at a time, one day at a time. And she also talks about how nervous she is to see Kara because Madison brought up, you know, are you going to speak to Kara because Kara's invited to the party? Chloe was like, I am nervous to speak to Kara because of what happened, because of the rumor that Chloe started in season 2 when she told Alex that Kara is cheating on Garrett with this guy from New Jersey that she goes and sees, and she's cheating on Garrett with, and Alex brought it up on that boat, because y'all remember the boat where she had her meltdown, calling everybody out, breaking the fourth wall, going at it with producers and everything like that. Yeah, that whole thing that happened in season 2. Yeah, Chloe's nervous about that because of, Karen might, call her out on it. So she's nervous about that. And so we see Juliet, she is meeting up with Sam. Sam, I don't know you. I don't know what your personality is like in real life. I don't know what it is. Sam gives me nerve. I feel so scared. I feel so sad for Sam. Every time he pops up on the screen, I get this scared, awkward, nervous energy from him. I really do. He's in the kitchen and he's cleaning. Juliet comes and she's like, "You're cleaning?" And he was like, "Yeah, I was watching YouTube videos on how to clean." And I said, "No. No, you didn't. You didn't. No, Sam, you did not watch YouTube videos on learning how to wash dishes. You did not look on YouTube to watch videos on how to clean a countertop. You did not watch YouTube videos on how to take out the trash. You did not watch any cleaning videos. I feel like you were reading the script. In that script, it says you had to watch YouTube videos to clean. But let me tell you this. I probably don't put it past him because he comes from money, and people who come from money, sometimes the kids, they don't know how to clean because they have maids that's done it for them. Okay, maids cleaning up after them, cleaning up the bathroom, washing dishes, washing their clothes. They probably never even touched a sponge ever, probably never touched a plunger or anything like that. So I don't put it past him that he probably never washed dishes a day in his life. But I do not believe that you watched YouTube videos on how to wash dishes. I just don't believe it. You were reading a script. In that script, it said that you had to say this because he always gives me that he is reading off of a script. Every time he has a conversation with Juliet, it always seems like he's reading word for word, script for script, what someone wrote for him, what the producers wrote for him. Sam, you are going to say this, this, and this, and this, and this. When she gets done reading this line, you say this line. Do you get it, Sam? Do you understand that? That's what it gives me. He gives me nervous, awkwardness, all anxious, all in one every time he is on camera. I don't know if he's nervous on being on camera. I don't know if he doesn't want to be filmed, but Juliet pressured him to be filmed. I don't know, but bruh, don't be on cameras no more because he looks so scared every time he is on camera. He really does. And every time he says baby, babe, it comes out so fake and so scripted. So Sam, don't be on camera no more. Next season, ask to not be filmed because you don't like being on cameras and it's pretty obvious. But they talk about the whole Kelsey situation. They talk about, how do you feel since you talked to Kelsey and everything like that. Juliet was like, you know what, I talked to her and you know what, we're in this good place, and she said she doesn't want to be friends with me, and that's absolutely fine. I didn't expect her to forgive me, but I had a conversation with her and he was proud of her. That's it. Then we get a... Was there a scene with Brandon? No, there wasn't a scene. We get to... Let me see. Was there anything else before we get to the birthday? We see Madison. Madison and Kara, they are, shopping, looking for stuff for Madison's birthday. And, she's talking about how she's, talking about the empathy theme party, and if Kara is excited to see Chloe. Kara basically said, look here, she read Chloe. Kara was like, I do not care for Chloe. She is an ugly individual. She has an ugly personality. Every time she gets home, all she does is think of ways to be this evil person, and I have nothing for her. I really do not care for Chloe. I can care less about her spiritual journey, religion, anything, whatever you want to call it. I could care less about Chloe. And she's always in everybody's business, and I just don't believe her at this point at all. I can care less about Chloe. Basically, that's what Kara said to Madison. But then Madison brings up, Amanda's going to be there. Have you guys talked since the trip? They showed a flashback of the trip of where Amanda was saying, like, you basically called all of us idiots when you were leaving the show and you dated my ex-boyfriend. Because that's what happened in season 3 finale. The end scene in season 3 finale was Amanda on Instagram looking at a picture of Kara and JJ. And so she's pissed at Amanda about that. And so we get the scene with Amanda, and she's doing homework, and she's with her dad, and she's talking about how she likes Tate, and like, he makes her happy, and she wants her dad to meet him and everything like that. She's just gushing over Tate. While on the other hand, Kara is telling Madison, have you seen Tate online? Like, have you seen, there are news, I just had the hiccups. His nudes are on the internet. Madison was like, what? Kara I guess she Googled Tate's name, and I guess that she showed Madison the nudes that Tate has done. And so they don't think that Amanda knows about Tate's nudes. But then she's with her dad, and she's gushing about how such a great guy he is, and how he makes her happy, and that, her dad would like to meet him. So, okay. So we get to the party. We get to the party, and Madison and Kelsey, they're wearing empathy shirts. Everybody's showing up. Brandon shows up. Jordana shows up. Camilla shows up with Will. Brandon and Jordana, they are having a conversation. They pick up where they left off about Jordana wanting to feel valued by Brandon. Saying that, I want to go out on dates, and it's like, I want to feel value from you. Brandon was like, okay, I want to take you out on a date. I want to plan it. While they're having this conversation, cameras are going back and forth between Camille, who's sitting with Will. Will does not seem interested in Camille anymore. Will doesn't care about Camille anymore. You can just clearly see it in these scenes. He is so sick and tired of her talking about Brandon. She keeps bringing up Brandon. Every chance she gets, she keeps bringing up Brandon, and Will is over it. He is sick of it. She goes up and she talks to Brandon. She asks him, so what were you and Jordana talking about? Brandon was like, why do you care? Camilla was like, well, you know what? How was your baby shower? How was it? You and Delaney, you're acting like the family, acting like this big family, while you're, talking to Jordana. What does that mean? Brandon was like, why do you care? Camilla was like, well, it's weird because it was supposed to be our baby shower. And then, she talks about the pregnancy and how sad it was, and Brandon feels guilty. He takes accountability for him, messing with 2 girls and then getting, both of them pregnant at the same time, which is so disgusting. You were double dipping, Brandon. You were dipping in Delaney and you were dipping in Camilla at the same time. And they were both pregnant at the same time. That is disgusting. That is nasty. That is trifling, Brandon. That is so disgusting. I don't understand why guys do that. And girls do that too. They be double dipping, messing around with 2 guys. Guys be messing around with 2 girls. And y'all be just double dipping with people. That is just so oh my gosh, that is nasty. And then you get pregnant too. You get the girls pregnant at the same time, Brandon. That is nasty. That is just, oh my gosh, trifling. And he says that, look here, I know you were sad, but I was sad too in that situation as well. And I'm saying y'all need to stop stressing yourselves out because y'all keep bringing the situation up. And I understand producers are telling y'all, look here, y'all need to talk about this, y'all need to have a conversation about that, but y'all stressing yourselves out at this point. And it's totally, it's non, this conversation is pointless at the point now. It's pointless. Stop talking about it. Move on. Camilla, you're saying he needs to move on. Brandon's saying, you know what? I want to move on. I want you to be happy. And it is what it is. But then on next week's episode, you're going to try to talk to her. How can we go back to the way we were? Stop playing in our faces. Leave us alone. So then we get this scene with Kelsey and Max, they are sitting down and then Sam comes. Sam comes and then Chloe comes. While you have these four, you have Kara, Juliet, and Madison. So with Max, Kelsey, Chloe, and Sam, they talk about how, Kelsey had a conversation with Juliet and how it was a much needed conversation. And Chloe keeps bringing up that, you know what, you and Juliet need to see each other face to face. You need to talk it out face to face. What's the point of not having empathy when you can't have a face to face conversation? Kelsey was like, but look here, we had the conversation. It's over and done with. We both agreed that we are better off separate and we can be cordial in public. But Kelsey just keeps banging it. Y'all need to have a conversation in person. And Kelsey is getting really upset because she's tired of revisiting the situation over and over again. And it's making her more upset. And so she decides to get up and walks away before anything else happens or anything escalates. Chloe goes back to her old self and says, classic Kelsey, running away. See, this is why I cannot support Chloe. This is why I don't believe Chloe in her spiritual journey, because like Kara said, she's the type of person who cannot change. And so we get this conversation with Kara, Juliet, and Madison, and same thing. Juliet was like, you know what, we had the conversation, and I don't think that we can ever be friends again, but there's no reason that we can't be cordial in public. So then they bring up Amanda and Tate. And so Kara says that I don't think Amanda knows that Tate has nudes online. So she hands Juliet her phone, and his OnlyFans page is just full of nudes. And Amanda doesn't know. So you see Amanda and Tate, and she's all googly eyed and, gushy over Tate. Juliet calls her over. And also Amanda brings up to Tate that, she talked about her dad to him and he's excited to meet her dad. But Juliet calls Amanda over. Juliet goes over and she was like, I don't think Tate has told you the whole story of who he is and everything like that. And Juliet shows Amanda the news of Tate. And Amanda is shocked. And then she stops and she's like, oh my gosh. I'm like, oh my gosh, is he having sex with somebody on OnlyFans? Oh my, that's what I automatically thought. I'm like, oh my gosh, he got a sex video out there? Oh my god, no, Amanda, no, Amanda, oh my god, I feel so bad for you, girl. But no, it wasn't that. She's upset at the fact that she asked him. She said, I saw that you have an OnlyFans page. And he was like, I'm not posting news on there. I'm not doing that, just like me and my boxers and that's it. No nudes. Amanda was like, okay, I'm not judging you. I just want you to be real. Apparently, he didn't tell her the full story. She is seeing his news and she's pissed that he lied to her. So throughout the episode, Ish comes and, she's happy that Ish is there. And she tells them the theme of the empathy party, and they all get sweatshirts. And they posted on Instagram. It was like a group photo of all of them like having empathy shirts on. So then we see this scene with Kara and Chloe. Chloe comes over to Kara, and she says that we haven't seen each other in over a year and a half. And Chloe was like, there's a reason why, because of what was said, things that I said. And Kara was like, look here, Chloe, you are just so bored with your life. You know, you are just the type of person that will never ever change. This whole spiritual journey you're on, I do not believe it whatsoever. You are in everybody else's business. Did you ever go back and look at the things that you have said to people? Chloe was like, yeah, I felt mad about myself. I cried for like a month. She said, that's all you've ever done. You don't see the way that you disrespect people and what you say to people. It is horrendous. It is mad rude. And you're still doing it. Chloe was like, I'm not doing it. Kara was like, yes, you are. You're still doing that. And you are the type of person who cannot change. And that hit Chloe. Chloe felt stuck when Kara said that. And she got up and she walked away. And Kara said, get the F out of my face. I was like, Kara does not care for Chloe. And it's completely understandable because Chloe, you made it yourself to be the number one instigator on the show for no reason. You decided to be the main pot stirrer for no reason. You decided to be the bone collector, according to Sheree. Okay, for Real Housewife of Atlanta, who was a bone collector. You decided to be the bone collector, so as the key, and take everything that people have said and then you use it against them. You've always done that since season 1 of Siesta Key, Chloe. And that's why I never really cared for Chloe. I never really cared for her because all she has done has just been a rude individual to each and everybody on this show. She likes to throw rocks and hide her hand. Okay, but then when people call her out on it, she wants to cry and say that they're attacking her. Girl, get out of here, Chloe. So Kara really stuck her when she says she's the type of person who can't change. So, after the party, we get this scene with Ish and Madison, and she tells Ish that she wants to postpone the wedding. That's okay. Then we see a scene with Jordana and Brandon, and Jordana was like, you know, what was the deal with Camilla coming up and talking to you after everything? And Brandon explains to her that there's a lot of issues between them because she had, you know, the miscarriage and everything like that. Well, the ectopic pregnancy, and that was really hard on them. And Jordana was like, you know, that's really sad, and it's like you guys need to get your stuff together. And Brandon was like, I didn't wanted to make you seem like you were a rebound. Which Jordana was like, yeah, it really made it seem like that, and it did, Brandon. You were so in your feelings, butthurt about you and Camilla and everything like that. You found Jordana. You started flirting with Jordana while Camilla was messing with Will, and that was basically like it was. You was using Jordana, to cover up your feelings about what was going on with Camilla. So she was a rebound to you. And Camilla and Jordana was like, look here, I just want to know that it was not me this time and that it was just timing that was not right. And she walked away and she left. So then we get this scene with Sam and Juliet. And so Sam, he gets off the phone with his mom and he tells Juliet that, you know, I want to help out because his mom is like a part of the Humane Society, and he's gonna like go there to help walk the dogs and everything like that, and like donate toys and stuff like that to the Humane Society. And then he brings up, you know what, if you would have moved in, you know, it would be great and we could be doing this together. And Juliet was like, we're back to this conversation again. And Sam was like, so have you given any thought about, you know, moving in? You know, it's been a year and everything like that. And so Juliet was like, actually, I have. And the answer is yes, I would move into you. He was like, babe, are you for sure? Are you sure you want to do this? Sam, weren't you just like butthurt last episode when she said no and you were acting fake mad? Get out of here. Are you sure you want to do this? You were basically pressuring this girl to move in with you, and you was upset when she said no the first time because you expected her to say yes. Sam, get out of my face. Get out of my face, Sam. Get out. Are you happy? Are you sure you want to do this? Whatever. Y'all, that was Siesta Key. Alright, that was Siesta Key. I will see you guys tomorrow for Good Girls. Alright, stay tuned, alright? Peace. I love you guys. Bye.